Hello, my love. Welcome to another episode of Blisstopia podcast. I am your host, Mercedes Castellani, and I cannot believe that it's already the end of the year. Everything went by so fast this year. I can't believe we're approaching Christmas. It's going to be Christmas next week. It's crazy that I think that 2024 went by so fast, literally in the blink of an eye. It was January, in the blink of an eye it was July, in the blink of an eye it was September, in the blink of an eye it's December, and we're already here and it's Christmas next week, which is absolutely crazy. So I decided to do an episode today on 2024, share with you my own reflection on 2024, what this year brought into my life. It's been a year of so much growth, so much transformation, both below the surface and above the surface. There's so many things that happened this year, and I wanted to take a pause, take some time, and share this reflection with you. So, when this year started, I set three main intentions for this year. The first one was around my business, which was a key priority for me this year in my life. I really wanted Blisstopia to take off the ground, to be consolidated as a business, to be really solid as a business, to become a sustainable business. So that was a clear priority for me this year. The second intention that I had was to move forward in my relationship, in my romantic relationship with Fabrice. When we started the year, we were not living together, and I knew that at some point this year, we would either move in together in Madrid or move somewhere else together, and then moving together in another city. So that was like still an idea that we had, and I wanted to invest and to move forward in this relationship. And moving forward meant kind of having, an additional commitment, an additional step that we would take together. And then my third intention was to feel great in my body, to have great energy, to really nourish my body in terms of having a good diet, eat things that make me feel good, do sports, continue doing sports because I've been doing that for a while now. And I set myself the challenge of running a half marathon in 2024. So I started the year with these three desires, goals, manifestations, intentions, whichever name we really want to put, outside of resolutions, because I don't really like the whole method. And if you've been in my last masterclass, you know that I don't really believe in New Year's resolutions, and I explained why. So I call these my intentions. What are my three key priorities for the year? So in 2024, it was this: growing my business, moving forward in my relationship, and feeling amazing in my body. And it's so beautiful because now we are in December 2024 and all of those things happened. First, in terms of my business, it was such a profound year. So many things have happened. I feel like I've had 20 lives in 1 year. I feel like I've had 20 different businesses in 1 year. It's still the same, but just to give you an impression of how much evolution and change and shifting and turning and rethinking and changing there's been this year. It's been so much of that. So many things have happened. I rebranded Blisstopia with a brand, colors, a look and feel, a typography that makes me feel so calm, that makes me feel so good, that reflects very well the kind of services that I offer, which are, highly personalized, luxurious, extremely qualitative. And I think the branding now represents all of that, which was very important for me and which wasn't the case when we started the year. The branding was completely different and I wasn't in love with it anymore. I launched a new website that I created myself, which is crazy. I had no idea I could create a website. I learned how to create a website on Squarespace. I can't even believe that I did that. I never thought I would be able to create a website. And it is out there, and I'm really happy with it. And you guys have loved it as well. And just to tell you, like, I didn't even know that I could build a website. And I've learned this year that I can actually build a website that looks actually pretty amazing, which is crazy. I worked with amazing dream clients this year. It's been such a joy, such wonderful people that came into my world this year with amazing hearts, with so much kindness, with so much ambition and willingness to grow, with commitments to put the work that is required day in and day out during 4 months to get amazing results. I worked with extremely clever, brilliant people that I get to support, but to be honest, sometimes I also even learn so much from them, from the way that they reflect and process and execute things with such dexterity, and how sometimes I'm going to be asking very deep and difficult questions. And some clients are like extremely, extremely clever. And it's such a joy to be working with such high caliber, kind, amazing, amazing clients. And one of my clients said to me this year, I manifested you. I was talking to a friend and I was describing to her how cool it would be to have a coach that can do the spirituality side of things, but also the money mindset side of things. And then this amazing client told me, I manifested you. And I was thinking to myself, I've been thinking the whole year, but especially now towards the end of the year, I manifested her as a client, as a dream client, her and so many other clever, kind, extremely, extremely ambitious people. And it's such a joy and an honor for me to be able to serve that type of clients. This year, I hosted my first in-person retreat in Mallorca. We hosted the first She Thrives retreat in Mallorca. And it was such a wonderful experience with amazing women from 12 different countries. We had great conversations. And then we met in London and they were sharing all of the manifestations that they were able to call in into their lives because of the work that we did together in the retreat. One of the ladies got her dream job in Sainsbury's in London. Another lady is now pregnant because of the work that we did together that helped her clear some emotions around motherhood and her own relationship with her mom. Another woman went all in on her relationship with her husband, which was going into kind of like difficult waters when we met for the retreat, and she decided to go all in and really commit to her relationship. So many wonderful and deeply important manifestations for the clients in the retreat, of course, also for my clients in private coaching. So it's just so beautiful to be able to contribute to changing women and men, because I also work with men, to changing people's lives. And it's just so beautiful to watch. It's such an honor to watch those transformations happen in front of me. The podcast reached listeners from 68 different countries, which is just wonderful. The podcast has been growing so much lately, especially during summer. There was a huge, huge peak for the podcast, and we reached listeners from 68 different countries, which is so beautiful because when I created this podcast for the first time in 2022, I really wanted this and I had the vision for this podcast to be absolutely global. And that's why I decided to do the podcast in English and not in my mother tongue in Spanish, because I had this vision for the podcast to be global. And now having 68 different countries, I'm like, yes, 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 yes. This is so in line with the vision that I had for this podcast, where I literally pour my love, my wisdom, my knowledge, my experience, so that you can also grow and learn in your spiritual journey, in your money mindset journey, in your purpose. And I do this with so much love every week. And it's a joy to see that now people from 68 different countries are joining. I launched my very first group program, which is the Blisstopia 21 Day Manifestation Challenge. Doors are open for this program right now. So it's just so beautiful to have the space to be so creative, to listen to my intuition, understand what is needed right now for the community, and to be able to put out there programs that serve you in the best possible way. And as I'm saying these words, I see 111 in my screen. So I take that as proof and confirmation that yes, that this is an amazing program that was born and that it's destined to serve so many lives and to change so many lives. And we've had some, qualitative many qualitative wins this year, but we also had amazing quantitative wins this year. We multiplied by 3 the revenue of the company in 2024 versus 2023, which is amazing. And I am so deeply proud of that. And what I'm most proud of is the fact that now in December 2024, it's actually 1 year and 2 months that I've been working 100% full time on my business. So Blisstopia started, let's say, with the podcast and everything in 2022. But in 2022 and 2023, up until September 23, I was still working on a corporate job as a marketing director. I think you know my story by now. So in 2022, 2023, the business was growing, but I always had a 6-figure salary behind me as a marketing director. And I'm deeply grateful for that experience. That was kind of like the trampoline for me doing what I'm doing now, because it gave me, the savings to be able to do what I'm doing now. And I was also reflecting, and I had the most amazing boss that I ever had. I had that boss during my last job, and he helped me build so much confidence in myself. He gave me so much autonomy and freedom. And I think if I would have had a different boss that would have, diminished my confidence, it wouldn't have prepared me to do what I did after. So I quit that job in September 2023. And that was one of the scariest things I have ever done in my life. I thought so much about that moment. I planned for that moment. I was so scared. I was so fearful because I've heard other stories, people who launched their own business, but maybe they didn't have what I had. I had huge stakes. I had an amazing job in a company that really trusted me, that gave me a lot of confidence. I had an amazing salary. I had the status of being, a marketing director. And I'm using quote unquote when I say status. So I quit all of that, and I decided to quit all of that because I knew that my happiness was not there anymore. My happiness was somewhere else. And I quit that job, and I've been on my business for 1 year and 2 months working full time on my business, meaning that my business is my main source of income, not the only one. We should never put all the eggs in one basket. And for your information, the average millionaire has 7 sources of income. So we should never have just one source of income. But my business is now my main source of income. And to be honest, this was my biggest fear when I decided that I wanted to launch my own business. I was like, going am I able to have the same life that I have right now? I had a very good life. Will I be able to have the same life that I have right now? Will I be able to make the same kind of income that I'm making right now? 1 year and 2 months later, those doubts, those fears are gone. I now have proof that I can create the level of wealth and abundance that I desire. And it's even better now because it's not coming from a job that was draining me. It's coming from helping women, helping men transform their lives, literally adding value to the world, making other people happy, making myself happy as I do all of this. So all of those fears are gone. All of the doubts about myself are gone. I now have proof that I can do this. I've been doing it for 1 year and 2 months full time, for a little bit more than 2 years in total. And I now have proof that it works, that I can do it, that there's a need for what I do, that the services that I offer change people's lives, that many of my clients have renewed and they work with me for more than the initial 4 months that we commit to, because they see that they get results and they want more results. So all of those fears, doubts are gone. I'm starting now 2025. I have a projection of the income. I know what is going to happen in the first months of the year. All of those fears and doubts are gone. And to me, that's the biggest moment of pride and the biggest moment of acknowledgement of what I have built in the past couple of years. And I can now say, I did it. I did it. And I'm going to get emotional because I was so scared of doing this, so scared. And when my clients come to me because they want to do something else, we're working on the Path to Purpose program, and they want to do something else and they are scared, I can only empathize with that because I've been there. I've been so scared, so scared. Will this work? Can I make it happen? Do I trust myself enough to jump, to take this scary leap of faith for my happiness, for impact in the world? Can I make this work? Is this possible? All of the doubts and fears and questions that I had in my mind. And now, 1 year and 2 months doing this full time, it went by so fast and I did it. I made it work. I made it through the most difficult part, which is the beginning, and it will only get better from now on. So I'm so confident about next year. I'm so grateful in advance for next year. I'm grateful for everything that happens this year, but I can see that next year will be amazing. And that confidence, that certainty, it's something that I didn't have 1 year ago. That certainty that my business was going to work. I was taking a leap of faith. I was scared, but I was taking a leap of faith. And now, 1 year afterwards, when I see and I look into the future, I'm like, I know this will work. It's going to be an amazing year. It can only get better. Of course, this didn't come, this didn't come out of nowhere. I prepared myself for this. I prepared my mindset for this. I prepared my money mindset, especially when I was still in my corporate job. I worked so much on my money mindset. Even this year, I worked so much still on my money mindset. And for me, the biggest shift was understanding that I can trust money, understanding that money is always there for me, literally always, even when I decide to do crazy shit like quitting a 6-figure corporate job and launching my own business. Money is always there for me. It's crazy just how money found me this year. I was here enjoying my life and money literally found me. Clients who came literally out of nowhere, people that recommended other people. We started working and then it was like the perfect match. And even money that just manifested out of thin air. I didn't think these things were possible, but I literally manifested 8,000 euros out of thin air on tax returns. So when I was in my corporate job, I always used to get 3K on tax returns every year because of the way the calculations were done and everything. So 3K were like naturally happening every year. And this year I got 11K, which is ridiculous. 11K, basically 3K came because my company had made some wrong calculations and they owed me 3K, which I was like, amazing, I'll take that. I was not working in the company anymore and they're like, we owe you money. And I'm like, amazing, I'll take those 3K. And then when my tax return I did my tax return calculations, Instead of giving me 3K like they give me every year, this year they had to give me 8K. So basically, I got K that I was not expecting on tax returns, that I was not counting on that money. I didn't even know that I could get that money. And then 3K from the calculations that the company, didn't do properly and they owed me 3K. So I literally got 8K out of thin air on tax returns and just calculations from my previous company. I literally manifested that money. I had no idea you could do this. And that's without saying all of the clients that I attracted that came into my life this year, opportunities, collaborations, people that introduced me to people. And then it ends up being something beautiful, magical, amazing. And sometimes it's a collaboration for the podcast. Sometimes it's a new client that comes into my world. So all of those fear and doubts, they are gone. And it's been a mix of deeply, deeply, deeply working on my money mindset with extremely prestigious coaches. I worked with the best manifestation coach out there, money manifestation coach out there. And I worked with her. I worked with my own coach on her money program. I did so many things on money mindset when I was still in the corporate job to prepare for this crazy thing that I was going to do. And then on that first year of business, it was so important for me to have my money mindset on point, because I think that can make or break your business, especially in the very beginning. So beautiful things have happened this year from qualitative point of view, quantitative point of view. And something that makes me so happy is that when I was dreaming, creating my dream life, how I was going to work, I was always thinking, I want to manage my time during the day. If I want to go for a run, or if I feel more creative, I want to do this or the other thing. And that's my life now. I get to manage. I get to go for a run when I want. I get to walk Amore when I want to walk her. I get to stay longer if I'm feeling inspired and I want to stay longer doing something. And I've done that. I can follow that creativity. And when I was dreaming, I was also thinking, I'm going to build an online business so that I can work from different countries. And this year I worked from Argentina in January. I worked from Barcelona. I worked from the French Riviera in July. I worked from Guatemala in September. And I built all of this. It was first a vision. It was first a crazy dream. And now it's my life. Now I can do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. No questions asked, because I can. And I am so, so, so deeply grateful for everything that has happened this year. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you tuning into the podcast each and every week. I'm so grateful for each and every one of the clients who trusted me this year, who trusted that we could generate the level of transformation that they wanted inside of my containers. They invested in themselves, they got the results that they wanted, and many of them came back for more because they know that it works. I'm so grateful for the amazing conversations that we've had, whether that was on Instagram, through the newsletter, your comments on the podcast, in the sessions. You've grown out of this, but I've also grown so much out of our exchanges, your comments, your support, your questions, your feedback. Thank you so much, because each of those conversations is deeply contributing to Blisstopia being better and better, bigger and bigger, month after month after month. And I just cannot thank you enough for all of those conversations, all of those emojis, all of that support, all of those questions, all of that feedback. All of that is truly contributing to something gigantic, gigantic. Blisstopia is and will be gigantic, and each of those conversations is contributing to that vision. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for trusting me with your time, with your investment. I deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate every second that we spent together, and I deeply appreciate your trust. So that was the first intention that I had for the year, to grow Blisstopia, and it grew way more than I could ever imagine. So many things, collaborations that I could not predict that happen, and I'm so grateful for that. The second intention that I had was to move forward in my relationship with Fabrice. And this year, many things have happened. We have evolved as a couple. We are closer. There's new levels of intimacy, trust, confidence in one another. And it's such a joy for me to have, a beautiful soul next to me. It's literally the most perfect partner I could expect for myself. We are a perfect team, and he's an amazing partner for me. He's an amazing man, so loving, so caring. He truly listens to me. I spend so much time listening to other people because of my work, but he's the one who's listening to me at home. And he's the one that's pouring my cup so that then I can pour onto you. And he's the one that has been there all along this year when things were not easy with my business, because there's been beautiful things that have happened, but there's also been moments of doubt, moments of challenges, moments when I was like, oh my God, how am I going to solve this one? And he was there for me all along, listening to me, supporting me, being truly a rock for me, giving me stability in the midst of a very a new adventure for me. He was providing the stability, the peace, the support that I needed to do this. He's a man that he's very good at doing conflict, and I really really love that about him, and I love that about our relationship. Of course, we have sometimes difficult conversations. Last night, for example, we had a difficult conversation, but he does conflict so well. He truly listens to me. He never scales, the conflict. He's always like listening, negotiating, trying to find agreements. He will never like snap at me or scale the conflicts. And he is really good at doing conflict. And that gives me a lot of trust in the future, because every couple will have difficult conversations, but it's how you handle those difficult conversations that is a predictor of success for a long-term relationship. So when we have difficult conversations and he handles them so well, I'm like, whoa, like you're not a coach, but you're so wise. He's so wise in so many things, and I learn so much from him. And just having him, his calm, stable, joyful presence in my life is such a gift. And this year we knew that we wanted to eventually, move in together. But what ended up happening is, as you know, that we moved to Paris together. And we now have this little family with Amore. So it's the three of us in Paris. And it's just so beautiful, so sweet, so tender. And we did move forward as I wanted, because it was important for me to move forward, to invest more in the relationship, and and to continue to grow together as a couple. My third intention was, as I said, around my health. I wanted to feel really, really good on my body. 2021, 2022, I started having like some digestive issues. I wasn't feeling very well. I didn't know what it was. I didn't have a clear diagnosis. And basically what I discovered this year, it's that I'm actually intolerant to gluten, which means that when I eat gluten, I get bloated and I have less energy, and it takes a lot of time for me to digest. So I'm not allergic. I can eat gluten every once in a while if I really, really feel like. If there's a brownie that is like deeply calling me and I have to eat it, I can. It's not the end of the world. But I discovered that I should kind of stay away from gluten as much as possible. So this year, there's been a lot of changing my diet, experimenting with different things. It turned out that I have to reduce gluten as much as possible, but I have been feeling a lot better. And now I know, which is something that makes me really happy. So now I know that if I eat something, okay, these are the consequences. And before I didn't know, and before I felt, oh my God, whatever I eat, I'm feeling bloated, I have less energy. And now I know. So now I can manage and decide and say, okay, I'm going to avoid gluten the whole week. Maybe during the weekend, eat something eventually. Or if we are at a family gathering and it's really complicated, to get a special gluten free menu. But I've been able to understand my body, understand its needs, and I'm deeply grateful for the level of energy that I have now, that I discovered what I need to avoid. I'm deeply grateful that I wanted to run a half marathon and I did. I set that challenge for myself, and Fabrice and I, we did it in April 2024, and we had so much fun. It was so, 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 so cool. There was an effort, yes, to train, but we had so much fun and it was so worth it. So I'm deeply grateful for my body, for the health of my body that does amazing things for me. I'm so lucky having this healthy, beautiful body that has so much energy. So this year I continue to do sports at least 3 times per week. I train for the half marathon. I ate healthy. I said goodbye to gluten. I reduced alcohol a lot. I decided that I wanted to have as much energy as possible for my business. So then I decided that I would not drink at all, zero alcohol during the week. And then just a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 glasses during the weekend. And that has been working amazing for me because then during the week I'm focused on my business. I have high energy. I pour that energy into my business, into doing sports. And then during the weekend, sometimes if I'm with friends or with Fabrice, I relax and I get a couple of drinks, but I have no hangovers because I'm not drinking that much. And during the week, I really keep all of my energy for myself and for my business. So the three intentions that I had, which were to grow my business, to move forward in my relationship, and to feel amazing in my body, they're here, they're happening, it's my reality. And then on top of that, there's been beautiful things on my family side that I'm really, really grateful for. 2023, as you probably know, was a very difficult year for us. My father was in hospital for 11 months between January and November. He ended up passing away in November. So 2023 was a really, really hard year for us, not only with him passing away, but having him in hospital for so long. It was so hard for my mom. It was so hard for my sister. It was so hard for my brother. It was so hard for myself. It was hard for the rest of the family, aunts, uncles that were supporting us. So 2023 was an extremely hard year in terms of family wise. And now 2024 was so much better. So I'm grateful that my dad is not suffering anymore. He's probably now happy looking at us and protecting us from another place. My mom is doing a lot better. She's now able to travel, which she loves. She's herself again. She's the strong, happy woman that I've always known as my mom. She's really enjoying now her life as a retired woman who has a lot of freedom, and she's able to travel now. She's able to take different courses, to do sports, to do things that she loves. My sister graduated this year. She became a geophysics, which is something so hard. Basically, they have the same mathematics as mathematicians, they have the same physics as physicians, and they actually study how the tectonic plaques of the earth move, and they study volcanoes. They can predict tsunamis, for example. So she graduated with amazing grades. So in Argentina, we grade from 1 to 10, 10 being the maximum. She got a 10 on her final thesis, and we are so, so, so proud of her. I know my dad would be so proud of her, and we are all so proud of her. And then my brother announced this year that he's getting married in February in only 2 months. So we've had wonderful news with my sister graduating, my brother getting married, my mom who's doing a lot better now that she's free. So it's been, from a family perspective, it's been a very good year, and I think we deserved it and we needed it after 2023 being so hard on us. So this year has been truly, truly, truly amazing in terms of my business, in terms of my relationship, in terms of my health, my family. So I am so, so, so grateful for all of the beautiful manifestations that came into fruition this year. And what I have decided is to actually support you in setting your manifestations for 2025 and actually making them come true. Because dreaming is nice, but making your dreams come true is even better. And that's why I decided to create the Blisstopia 21 Day Manifestation Challenge, in which you are going to set your dreams, your manifestations for 2025 and actually make them happy, make them happen and make you happy. So we are going to start the challenge on January 2nd and we're going to finish on January 24th. And during these 21 days, you're going to dream, you're going to plan, you're going to decide which your intentions are for 2025. And then I'm going to teach you the approach, the method to actually make them work. So if you're a new client in Blisstopia, you've never worked with me in the past, this is the perfect place to start your journey. We're going to cover the fundamentals of manifestation and mindset work so that you can make your dreams come true in 2025. If you want to have a new job, move forward in a business idea, manifest more abundance, meet the love of your life, become the healthiest version of yourself, this is the place to start. This is where you start your journey in Blisstopia. This program includes a bulletproof approach to manifest your dreams in 2025, 3 group coaching sessions with me, 21 guided journaling sessions, 11 guided meditations, and you know everybody loves my meditations, 3 EFT tapping videos, 3 experiment or embodiment challenges to really put you in the situation where you become the woman who already has those dreams. You're going to have an accountability partner throughout the whole challenge, and you're going to have access to the group chat, which is going to be fire because we already have so many women who have joined the challenge and they are fantastic. The energy is going to be just brilliant. So if you want to make your dreams come true in 2025, get clear about your intentions and actually make them happen, then you should be inside of the Blisstopia 21 Day Manifestation Challenge. So if you're ready to commit for 21 days in January and start the year with a bang, you want to make 2025 best year ever and go all in on your dreams. You're ready to invest in yourself, both in terms of time and financial resources, even though this is a very accessible program. You're ready to make your dreams come true and you're keen on learning the fundamentals of manifestation and mindset work, then this is the place for you. You should be on the challenge because we're going to have so much fun and you will actually make your dreams come true in 2025. So we currently have an early bird price. So if you join until December 23rd at midnight, so at 29 p.m., and you use the code EARLYBIRD, all caps all together, you will get 88 euros of discount on your registration. So use the code EARLYBIRD until December 23 to secure your spot and snag the early bird code. So are you ready to have the best year ever? If you are, I'm going to see you inside of the challenge. The link will be in the show notes. If I were you, I would literally join before December 23rd because the price is so accessible, so accessible. And I can assure you that this manifestation challenge will set you up for success in 2025. So Take a look into the show notes, join the manifestation challenge, use the code earlybird to save 88 euros. I wish you an amazing, amazing holiday period with your family, with your loved ones. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I will see you on the next episode, which is going to be the last episode of the year. And in the meantime, in Blisstopia we trust.